Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating, to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you all about how you can tell if you're not eating enough. And I feel like this is a topic that isn't really spoken about a lot in the healthy eating and weight loss space, because as women, we're always taught to calories, to eat less, to skip meals. And often it's not talked about enough whether we're actually eating enough food or whether we are also eating enough quality food and quality nutrients in order to satisfy our needs as well. So I want to start today by sharing a little bit about my story. If you are new to listening to the podcast, you can go back and listen to, I think it's our second episode, and that is my Healthy Her story. And I share with you about catalysts for change, what made me want to start working on my health, and what made me want to start losing some weight, and how I got started and the things I did in order to start making those changes. So if that's something that you're interested in learning a little bit more about my journey, you can go back and listen to that episode and find out a bit more. But in today's episode, I want to talk to you about my experience with not eating enough. And to be honest, I've always sort of just seen food as the enemy. Like, it was never something that I would go, oh, food, love food, enjoy food, food's great, I'm in control of food. Food was always something that I just had a not great relationship with. And at the time, I had no idea. I thought I had an okay relationship with food, but it wasn't until I started to unpack things and dive into it and look at what I was eating and how I was eating that I did realize that I did have some not so healthy habits and a not so healthy relationship with food. And I think it's because, and I'm sure probably you can relate to this, I always kind of saw food as like the enemy. The food is bad. Food has calories and food's going to make me fat and food's going to make me not like my clothes and it's going to make me not feel good. And I always just kind of never had this good relationship with food. I always saw it as something that I was in competition with, something that was always in control of me. I wasn't in control of it. And it was always something that I was sort of trying to compete against or something that I was trying to always get on top of. And I avoided food. Like, I would see food as the enemy. I would sort of always think about it. I was always thinking about, oh, okay, what should my next meal be? What should I eat? What should I not eat? Or hang on, what did I eat last night on the couch? Okay, so what should I eat today then? Like, food and that food noise just was constantly in my mind and it constantly controlled me all of the time. And I always felt hungry. I was never satisfied. I just didn't feel in control of any food choices that I was eating. I just felt like food controlled me. Like I said, it was just this enemy that I was just constantly in battle with all the time about what to eat, what not to eat, how much to eat. And it was just this constant battle. And I know that hearing me say this, at the time, I was clueless. Like, I had no idea. I had these thoughts about food. I had no idea that I had these beliefs about food. I never thought that I was in competition with food. But like I said, it's one of those things that for me, it was buried deep down in my subconscious. And I didn't know that those things were there and that those feelings around food were there until I started to learn about it and talk about it and started to uncover my mindset around food and the things that I thought about food. So I know listening to this probably sounds like I had all these complicated emotional issues with food, but I didn't. The things that I was experiencing are common things that most women experience around food, and I'm sure that you have too. So I always want to be transparent and have these conversations because we so often think that we have no feelings around food, and I promise you that you do. It's just that you haven't uncovered them yet. You have food feelings. you have beliefs around food, you have knowledge around food, you have lots of things that you think about food, and that's your food mindset that you haven't uncovered yet. So it's really like tapping into that and starting to become aware of those feelings that you have around food. Now, one of the things that I found on my weight loss journey is that I actually realized that for not all the time, but for a good amount of days and weeks, I was actually under eating. I was not eating enough food. So don't get me wrong, like I wasn't starving myself or anything like that, but I was just not eating enough food throughout the day to satisfy myself with just having smaller meals and smaller portions. So I was still eating food. I was still eating food regularly, but I realized over time that I was actually under eating. And the reason that came about is because my go-to, and I'm sure many of you are guilty of this too, my go-to is skip a meal. Okay. I know I've got to be in a calorie deficit. I know I want to lose some weight. So I've eaten too much, so I'll just skip a meal. And I was like, okay, that'll work. That'll cut some calories out of my day. So I'll just skip a meal. It was one of my go-to hacks for trying to lose some weight or trying to get things to move quickly or to fit into a smaller dress size was to skip a meal. My other one was just to eat a really small portion of something, like just have yogurt for lunch or a tub of fruit or an apple. So I was still eating. I wasn't restricting and starving myself or doing anything like that, but I was just either skipping a meal or just eating a significantly smaller portion of that lunch, of that food, whatever I was having, in a way to lose weight, in a way to try and lose some weight, to get back to looking and feeling my best. And so skipping a meal or eating a smaller portion of something was my go-tos in order to start getting some results. Now, here's the reality that I discovered. Our bodies need a certain amount of food. And I really want to stress that everyone's amount of food is different. You know how you see some women and like they'll eat, you just see them constantly eating and they eat large servings of like their meals and their dinner and things like that. And they just can always maintain their weight. And everyone is different. Everyone's daily calories that you need is different. So that's why it's really important to, and I talk about this all the time on the podcast, to focus on you. Okay, because you can go and follow someone's day on a plate and, you know, they're eating like 1,900 calories and you go, okay, well, I'm going to eat that much. That may be what her deficit is. That may be what works for her, but that's not going to work for you. So the amount of food that you need in order to thrive every single day is different to someone else. Like I can't stress that enough for you. And that's why copying what other people are doing and what they're eating just will not work for the long term. Here's the kicker. Like I said, your body needs a certain amount of food to thrive every single day. If you do not eat enough food throughout the day, your body will make up for it at another time. And I can tell you that other time is generally at night. So I'm going to say that again. If you do not eat enough food during the day, your body will try and make up for it at another time or at night because your body needs that food. Your body needs that food in order to function at its best and to thrive. And if you choose not to feed it enough during the day, it will make up for it either at night, either the next day, either 2 days later, and you'll just find yourself binging and overeating because your body is trying to make up for that missed food, the missed calories, the missed energy, the missed nutrients. So just a reminder, like if you're thinking that, I'm just going to not eat much and I'm going to skip a meal, it will come back. It will come back because your body will go, feed me, I'm so hungry. And it will come back at a time that's not convenient. Like I said, it'll be late at night. It'll be when you're at work and there's a full biscuit barrel in front of you. It will come back because your body needs that food. So how do you know if you're actually under eating? So these are 5 signs, and these are the ones that I identified in myself, also with the women that I work with. And I'm really hoping they will help give you some aha moments today and really sort of think about whether you are actually eating enough food throughout the day. Number 1, mid-afternoon crashes. Do you find yourself in the afternoon, 2, 3, even sort of 4 o'clock, you have no energy, you feel really sleepy, you're craving a hit. So you're craving something like coffee, sugar, anything like that's going to give you that energy hit to keep you awake. Having massive mid-afternoon crashes is not normal, okay? I no longer have them now. I used to, but it's not a normal way to feel. So if you are having massive crashes in the afternoon, you're not eating enough. And there is something wrong with your daily diet that is not satisfying you enough. So really look at what you are eating and the quality of the food that you are eating and make sure that you are eating enough. especially at that lunch meal, because if you're having those energy crashes, it may mean that you're not eating enough food throughout the day. Okay, number 2 of how you may know that you are not eating enough food: tiredness and fatigue. Okay, if you find yourself really tired and lacking energy and feeling fatigued, like you're probably not eating enough food. Food gives us energy. Okay, food gives us energy and vitality and all those things that we need. So if you're not eating enough, you're probably like feeling a lot more tired than usual, a lot more fatigued than usual. Now, obviously, if this is a serious ongoing issue, then you'd want to seek some medical advice on that. But if you are just feeling constantly tired and fatigued all the time, are you eating enough food throughout the day? Because it may be that you need to either increase your calories, because I know so often as women, we always go to that, right, well, I want to lose weight and I want to eat healthy and I want to drop a dress size. So I will cut down on the amount of food that I'm eating. And it's not always the solution. Okay. It's not always the solution to eat less. A lot of the times it's just looking at the balance of your food and also the quality of your food that you are eating that can actually make all of the difference to how you feel and how less tired and fatigued you feel. Okay. This is a massive one. Took me a long time to work this one out, and that's why I'm going to share it with you today on the podcast, because I could have saved myself so much time with this one.
I've lost over 6 kilos on the program, and I've ditched the restrictive food mindset and am able to navigate life's busyness as a very busy full-time working mum with 2 children on the program, and being supported by an amazing community and Jem herself, who is there to coach you and get you out of those situations where you second guess yourself. So take that next step and trust in the program and reap the rewards.
Number 3, okay, after dinner and late at night. Okay, if you are starving, hungry after dinner and late into the night, this is a huge red flag. Okay, if you find yourself after dinner, late at night, having uncontrollable eating, and I don't mean binging, but when you go to the pantry or the fridge and you grab a packet of something and you go and sit on the couch and you eat it and you're like, yeah, that wasn't enough, I'm still hungry. And then you go back and then you're like, oh, I'll just have a biscuit. And then you go back and you get a biscuit and you eat that and you're like, that wasn't enough, but still. And then you go back and then you get something else. And then this just continues 5, 6, 7 times. And then you go and you head down that guilt trap where you feel really guilty because now you've eaten all this food and all this extra calories and you've undone any work that you've done the day before and you've been trying really hard. And if you find yourself uncontrollably eating after dinner, this is not normal. I cannot stress this enough. This is a huge red flag, okay? And I struggled with this for months, for years, where I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, why can't I just have my dinner, have my dessert, and then stop eating? It's because I was restricting my food too much during the day. Please remember this. Put it on your fridge if you need to. Write it on your arm if you need to. If you do not eat enough food during the day, your body will make up for it at night. That's it. Okay. And I hope that right now you're hearing all of these ding in your brain and you're going, oh my God, Jen, that's me. Okay. It is not normal. It is not normal to be uncontrollably hungry and need to eat massive amounts of food after your dinner or late at night. It means that something is wrong throughout the day. It means, you're trying to eat 1,200 calories because you think that's what a diet is, or you're just trying to skip meals, or you're eating really small portions of things in order to lose weight. That is not how weight loss works. Okay. For weight loss to work, you need to be in a calorie deficit. You need to know your numbers. You need to do it a certain way in order for it to work. So please, if you are starving hungry after dinner, late at night, uncontrollable eating, red flag, start looking at your diet throughout the day, start increasing what you're eating and look at the quality of the food that you're eating. Are you having enough protein? Are you having some healthy fats? Are you eating enough fruits and vegetables? Look at the quality of the food that you're eating throughout the day and make sure that you are eating enough food. Okay, and number 4 of the signs that you may not be eating enough throughout the day. And this is another big one too, not being able to go long between meals. Okay, so if you have your breakfast, okay, and half an hour to an hour later, you are hungry and picking for food, there is something wrong with that meal that you just ate. Okay, perfect example is breakfast. Okay, if you eat a high protein breakfast that's got protein, you've got some fruits, fiber, all of those kind of things, you will feel satisfied for hours. Okay, so if you are having a breakfast, say if you're having a piece of toast or a bowl of cereal or like just getting like a bun or like a muffin or something and you're having that for your breakfast, you are going to feel hungry long after because there's nothing in that is going to satisfy you and satiate you for a long period of time. So if you find yourself not being able to go long between meals without picking, without snacking, without trying to find something else to eat, you need to look at how much you're eating and also the quality of that meal that you just ate and tap into this. Again, it's that awareness that I always talk about. So have a meal. And if, let's say, you've had your muffin for breakfast, whatever, and then you're sitting at your desk at work and your computer and you're going, crap, it's 9 o'clock and I'm really hungry. Like, just stop in that moment, literally in that moment and go, well, hang on a second. What did I have for breakfast? I had a coffee and a muffin. That's what I had for my breakfast. That's not enough to satisfy you. Okay. There's nothing in that is going to satisfy you for more than half an hour. So really important to have a look at that, like another red flag. If you can't go long between meals, like you definitely need to look at it. And that was me too, because what I would always do, like I've mentioned earlier, is I would always try and eat the smallest serving of something possible. So you'd never find me having like a big bowl of spaghetti for lunch or like a huge wrap or something like that, because in my mind, I was always like, well, that's too much food. And if I eat too much food, the weight that I want to come off is not going to come off. So I would always try and eat like a small meal or a really small portion of something. And the problem with that, red flag, I couldn't go long between meals. So that's why I'd have my really small portion of my meal because I was trying to restrict my food and not eat too much and lose some weight. And then an hour later, I'm hungry. And so then what am I doing? I'm picking chips and I want a biscuit and I want a chocolate and I'm picking all the things that I shouldn't be picking at because I actually didn't eat a healthy, well-balanced meal that could fill me up for hours. So please try and not get always stuck in this trap of, oh, I've got to eat less and I've got to like always have the smallest portion. And, you know, this untapped secret is food is actually the solution to a lot of the problems that you are having. It's just knowing how to eat properly and how to eat right in order to satisfy yourself and so that you can truly thrive, have lots of energy and feel good throughout your day. Okay, number 5, this is our last one, last sign that you need to be looking for to work out if you are under eating or not. And it is this, that you have intense and uncontrollable sugar cravings. Now, this was me, big time. I literally couldn't go a couple of hours without having something sweet. So I always needed to have like lollies with me, some chocolate, like something sweet all the time. Like I just could not go a couple of hours without craving something sweet. Now, there's 2 reasons that this can happen. One is a lack of protein. Now, remember, protein is one of those nutrients, that macronutrients that is absorbed slower by our bodies. It's why when you have a protein smoothie or something that's got protein in it, like lean chicken or fish or beef or whatever it is, you feel fuller for longer because your body takes longer to break down that protein. That's why it is absolute gold for women that are on a weight loss journey. Okay. It's because your body breaks it down slower, which keeps you feeling full for longer. So if you're not eating enough protein and you're not eating enough food throughout the day, those sugar cravings really kick in. Okay. And again, I was this person, I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, I seriously have a problem with sugar. Like, it just controls me. It's all I can think about. And I know if you're listening to this and you're in that place too, it's horrible. It's what is wrong with me? Why can't I go 5 minutes without craving something sweet? You need to look at if you are eating enough food and you need to look at if you are eating enough protein. All of these 5 things are red flags as to the fact that you may be under eating. And also, like I said, the quality of the food that you're eating. If you're having these issues and these things come up for you all the time, the mid-afternoon crash, the tiredness, the fatigue, the late night snacking, not being able to go long between meals, the intense sugar cravings, something's off. Okay. None of these things are normal. If you eat enough, if you eat a healthy, well-balanced diet, you shouldn't be experiencing these things all the time. And I think so often as women that we kind of just get used to these things. It's, oh, I'm just a late night snacker. This is just me. And this is, I just do this thing. Or I just always crave sugar at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and need a nap. Like, these things aren't normal. And like I said, for me, when I was in it, I felt like it was normal, or I felt like I was just a failure and that was just the way that I was going to be forever. But once I learned to eat properly, to fuel my body properly, to eat protein, to stop under eating and skipping meals and trying to always eat less, all of those things have gone. I don't get mid-afternoon crashes. at all anymore. Like, it's just not a thing anymore. I don't feel tired and fatigued. I have my dinner, I have my dessert, and that's it, because I'm good, because I ate enough food throughout the day. Whereas the old Jen would be looking at everything in the fridge and pantry and could never satisfy myself because I spent so much time skipping meals or trying to eat less. My intense sugar cravings are gone. Okay. If I want sugar, it's because I genuinely feel like having a donut, or I want a piece of cake, or I want a handful of lollies. It's because I genuinely feel like eating that thing. It's not because I have to have that thing in order to give me the energy that I need to get me through the day because I'm not eating enough food. And I can honestly tell you, it's the best feeling ever, because when you're struggling with these things, you think that there's something wrong with you, and you think that's the way you are. It's the way you're going to always be. But there is a solution for all of it. So definitely have a think about those 5 things. Ask yourself, are you eating enough? Are you skipping meals? Are you constantly tired and fatigued? And if you are, start looking at your diet. Start looking at, are you eating enough food? Like I said, all of those 5 things, they're red flags. If you're experiencing any of them or multiple of them all the time, then you definitely need to start looking at your food, whether you're eating enough, and also quality of your food. I hope you found today's episode super helpful. I love chatting with you about these things, and I will see you all in our next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing, because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @theactivebod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.